everybody, it's the Evil Queen 90 here. Welcome back to another tutorial. So today I'm going to be doing the tutorial for the Path of the Fallen Angel bracelet, and this was designed by me. I designed this back in October for Zombify Me and Loom, Animal for Loom's Halloween Loom contest that they were having. And this is the design I came up with. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. A lot of people also really liked it. So I'm finally getting around to doing a tutorial for it. It is 5 pin bars wide and 2 full loom lengths long. And I did do 2 kind of variations of it. So this one right here with the white, it's in the purples, uses LED bands, no beads, and also has a double border on it. This is something similar to what I'll be doing today in the tutorial. And then this is the original design I posted the first time. And it is using opaques and Persian, and then it also has beads, but it has no double border on the sides. So what I'll be doing today is I'll be using this design. So I'll be using the one with no beads and a double border, and I'll also be using kind of opaques in the bracelet itself. But I will be showing you where to place these beads once we get to that part. So gather your supplies. What you're going to need today is you're going to need, it's a 5 pin bar wide design. So this is what your loom setup is going to look like. It's just a V. Again, it's 2 full loom lengths long. So you'll need that. You're also going to need a hook, and then you're also going to need obviously some bands and a C-clip. So gather your supplies and we'll get started. Alright everybody, so I am back and I have gathered all my supplies, and then we are ready to get started on making the bracelet. So for the first step, what we're going to be placing is where the black is right here in this bracelet, the LE satin onyx, I believe. And then in this bracelet is the opaque black on the sides and in the center. Today I'll be using opaque white. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the very center peg, and you're going to go out to the left twice. And then you're going to do the same thing on the right side. And next you're going to place a band going straight up on either side, like this. Next, you're going to place a band going diagonally towards the center, and then again diagonally out towards the border, so it should make a little V. Do the same thing on the right side, diagonally towards the center, and then diagonally towards the border. So it should look like this. Then you're going to place a band going straight up, like that, and then again make that V on either side, so diagonally towards the center and then diagonally towards the border, diagonally towards the center and then diagonally towards the border, and then go straight up. I'll show you how to place the border one more time. It's so simple. So again, place the band straight up and then diagonally towards the center, towards the border, and then diagonally towards the center and towards the border. So you're going to do that all the way to the top of your loom, and I'm going to go off camera and finish that up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end when all the bands are placed. Alright guys, I am back and I have finished placing all my border bands all the way to the top of the loom, and this is what the end of the loom is going to look like. So at the very end, to close it off, you're just going to place 2 diagonal bands on either side going towards the center, and it's as simple as that. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be placing where these horizontal bands here are in the center. Again, in this bracelet is a satin onyx, and in this bracelet it is the opaque black. So it's really, really simple. All you're going to do is where these kind of V bands are, we're just going to place a band going straight across, just like that. Show you a couple more times. So again, where the V bands are, straight across. The V bands are straight across, and one last time, where the V bands are, just straight across. And you're going to do that all the way to the end of the loom, and I'll show you guys what it looks like at the very end. Alright guys, I am back and I have finished placing my horizontal bands across these V pegs all the way to the top of the loom, and this is what it will look like at the very end. Just like that. So the next band placement we are going to do is where I have the caramel bands right here in this bracelet, and then this bracelet, it is the white on the sides. That's what we're going to be doing next. Today I'm going to be using ocean blue jelly. So all we're going to do is, again, it's very, very, very simple. We're just going to be placing zigzag bands all the way to the top of the loom. Just like that, and do that all the way to the top of the loom. Same thing on the other side. All the way to the top of the loom. So I'm going to go off camera and finish that up, and I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, I am back and I finished placing all my zigzag bands all the way to the top of the loom, and this is what it will look like at the very end. Just like that. So for these next couple of parts, you are going to need good quality stretchy bands because they will stretch out quite a bit. And for that part, we're going to be using, what we're going to be placing is where I have this Persian green apple right here in the center on this bracelet, and then in this bracelet is the purple, sparkly purple right down the center. So what I'm going to be using today is I'm going to be using pink from the Tutti Frutti mix, and what we are going to do is very, very simple. So we're just going to be placing triangles. We do that all the way to the top of the loom. Just as simple as that. So I'm going to go off camera, finish that up, and I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like. Alright everybody, so I am back and I finished placing all my triangle bands all the way to the top of the loom. This is what it will look like at the very end. Just like that. Now we are on our second to last step of band placement, and all we're going to do is we're going to just place a simple single chain down the center of the loom. And before I get started, you do want to you want to use good quality stretchy bands again for this, because these will not be looped back to themselves. So that's all we're going to do, simple single chain down the center of the loom. So I'm going to go off camera and finish that up, and I'll be right back. Alright buddy, so I am back and I finished placing my single chain all the way to the end of the loom, and this is what it will look like at the end. So now we are on our final band placement step, and all we're going to do is place a double border. Obviously, you guys do not have to place a double border on this bracelet. I'm just choosing to because I think it looks a little bit neater with it. So again, what we're going to do is we're just going to follow the first border we placed all the way around. Nothing different than what it was before. Sorry, mine's kind of hard to see because I use the same color as my zigzag bands, but believe me, it will look fabulous in the end. So you're going to do that all the way to up, and then same thing on the other side. Make sure you push all your bands down as you're going along. So I'm going to finish my double border up, and I'll be right back to show you guys what to do first in our looming process. Alright guys, I have finished placing my double border all the way to the top of the loom, and this is what it will look like at the very end. You'll also need a cap band on the very center peg. I have already placed that, so we are all set to turn the loom around and start the looping process. So, like I said, you're going to do a cap band on your very center peg, and all we're going to do first is obviously to loop the double border. So what you're going to do is just loop all the bands back to themselves. Nothing really too crazy for this. So grab that top band. For me, it is going out to the left. There we go. Bring it back to itself. Next band, bring it back to itself. Make sure you don't grab any of those other bands that are there. once you go into the diagonal bands right here. So bring it in and out, just like that. Show you guys one more time on this side. I want to go to the other side. Straight up, in, and out. And you're going to do that all the way to the top of the loom. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. So, 2 diagonal pins back to themselves. Just realized my loom is kind of collapsing, but ignore that. I'll fix that off camera. Straight up. And diagonally. Out diagonally. And that band came off the peg. There we go. Straight up. In. And then out. And you do that all the way to the top of the loom. So I'm going to finish my double border off camera, and I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like. Hey everybody, so I am back and I finished looping up my double border all the way to the end of the loom, and this is what the end of the loom is going to look like. Just like that. So now we are going to be working with our single chain bands, which I did in white down the center. And like I said, these will not be looped back to themselves, so pretty much pay close attention. So what we're going to do is going to go into the center cap band. We're going to grab that first single chain band, and we're not going to bring it back to itself. Like I said, we're going to bring it diagonally out to the left. The next band, we're going to bring diagonally out to the right. So it should look like this right now. And you're going to do that all the way up the loom. So you're going to be alternating sides all the way up. So this one will be going out to the left. Next one will be going out to the right. And if your bands come off the pegs, don't worry about that. You can just fix them that easy as that. And last time I'll show you out to the left. And then last time out to the right. So you're going to do that all the way up to the end of the loom. If you guys need to watch that again, please rewind the video. And I'm going to go off camera and finish it up, and I'll be right back to show you guys what it looks like at the end. Hey everybody, so I am back, and I finished looping up all my single chain bands all the way to the top of the loom, and this is what your loom will look at the very end. So we can't stretch it out to another peg, so you're just going to bring that last band just straight up. And that is that. So the next looming step we're going to do is our triangle bands, and what we're going to do is going into the center pin bar second peg, and we are going to just bring those bands back to themselves. So like that. Let me zoom in so you guys can see kind of better. There you go. Again, go into the center pin, grab that triangle band, and bring it like that. Do the same thing on the next pin and all the way up. So like that. And I'm going to show you a couple more times. So next pin, I'm not even on camera, sorry about that. Go into this pin bar, grab that top triangle and bring it back to itself. Oopsie, fix that. There we go. And then same thing on the right, back to itself like that. Last time, back to itself and back to itself, just like that. And that's all you're going to do for the triangle band. So you're going to finish that up all the way to the end of the loom, and I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like at the end. Alright everybody, so I am back, and I finished looping up my triangle bands all the way to the end of the loom, and this is what the end of the loom will look like, just like that. So next we are going to be working with our zigzag bands we have on the side here in my ocean blue jelly, which is really hard to see. I apologize for that. And all we're going to do is we are going to go into the second pin bar, and we're going to go into this pin right here. So we're going to go inside these pink bands, or your triangle bands, grab that top band and bring it down to itself. In the next band, back up to itself. So it should look like that. It's really hard to see. I really do apologize about that. You do that same thing all the way up. So next pin, grab that bottom top band and bring it down to itself. Grab that next band and bring it up to itself. I'll show you one last time. So next pin down to itself, and then the next pin band up to itself. So just like that. Do that all the way to the top of the loom. Then you do the same thing on the right side. So you are going to go into this pin bar, so the fourth pin bar, second pin, and you grab that top band and bring it back down to itself. Next band back up to itself. Next pin bar, grab that next band. One second, guys, my bands kind of got out of order. There we go. Back down to itself, and the next band back up to itself. And last time I'll show you, next band down to itself, and the last band up to itself. So you're going to do that all the way to the top of the loom, and I'll finish that off camera, and I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like. Alright everybody, so I'm back and I have finished looping up my zigzag bands all the way to the end of the loom, and this is what the end of the loom will look like. Just like that. So now we're going to be working with these horizontal bands that we placed right after the border. So what we're going to do is we're going to be doing a cuff stitch, and I forgot to mention this earlier, but in this bracelet, these are the bands that I beaded. So if you guys beaded this bracelet, those are the bands you would want to bead, but it's always up to you. So to do a cuff stitch, if you've never done one before, all you're going to do is you're going to go into this peg right here where the first horizontal band is, and you're going to grab that side of the band and just bring it straight over to the other side. There we go. After that, you're going to go into this pin where we just looped the band to, go underneath all of these bands. There's a ton of them, so make sure you're grabbing the band, and you grab the other half of the band we just looped over and loop it back over to the other side. So like that, that's what it should look like. And I'll show you guys a couple more times just so you can get the hang of it. So again, we're going to go to the next horizontal band, and we're going to grab that side of the band and we're going to bring it over to the other side. And then go into that same pin we just brought it over to, grab the other half of the band and bring it back over to the other side, like that. I'll show you guys one last time. So grab that, go into that next pin, grab that band, bring it over to the right, go into that same pin we just brought it over, grab the other half of that band and bring it over to the left. And it just came undone, so there we go. So you're going to do that all the way to the end of the loom. If you guys need to watch that again, please feel free to rewind the video and rewatch it as many times as you need to. And I'm going to finish those all off camera, and I'll be back to show you guys what to do next. Hey everybody, so I'm back and I finished doing all my cuff stitches all the way to the end of the loom, and this is what it will look like at the end. Just like that. And now we are on our final looming step, and that is just to loop up the border, and all we're going to do is just bring all the bands back to themselves. So go into the center peg, grab the top band and bring it back to itself, and do the same thing with the next band. Next band you're going to bring straight up. Next band you're going to go and bring it diagonally out towards the center, and then bring the next band diagonally back towards the border, and then straight up. And you do that all the way to the end of the loom. You're going to do the same thing on the right side. So go into the center peg again, grab the last band, bring it up to the right twice. Oops, there we go. Straight up, diagonally towards the center. Diagonally towards the border, and straight up. And that's all you're going to do all the way up the loom, so be sure to loop up all those bands. I'll be right back to show you guys what to do next. Alright everybody, so I'm back and I finished looping up our border bands all the way to the end of the loom, and this is what the end of the loom will look like. Just like that. And now it's time to take the bracelet off of the loom. So what you're going to do is you're going to need your hook, a C-clip, and a closure band, excuse me. What you're going to do is you're going to go into this very center peg right here, go underneath all of those bands, grab your closure band and bring it up and around so it catches on all of those bands. Now you're going to put both ends of the closure band on your hook, and you're going to take your C-clip or S-clip or any type of closure, and you're going to just put both ends of that band on the C-clip, and that's how you will end it off. Now we can take it all off the loom. So what I would recommend doing is not gripping it with the C-clip with your hands. I would use your hook as always, and I'm going to do the sides first and then go on these 3 center pegs. So just take it off one peg at a time. Be sure to take your time taking these off because they are pretty tight on these looms because there's so many bands. So just take your time and do the sides, or you could take them off the pegs individually. It's up to you. Take them off the sides and then you can do these center 3 pegs. So I'm going to go off camera and take the rest of the bracelet off the loom, and I'll be right back. Alright everybody, I am back and I have taken the bracelet fully off the loom, and this is what the final product looks like. I'm not too sure if I like this color combo, to be honest, but I still like the design itself, and I hope you guys like it too. So if you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and hit subscribe if you have not already. I'll be sure to have my Instagram link in the description box below if you guys do not follow me on there. It will be linked down below, like I said. I will also have my other channel linked down below if you guys are interested in see what I also do here on YouTube, because I do have another channel. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!